If you clicked on this video, that means that you're right in the midst, right in the middle of the greatest transformation of your life. The reason I know this is because when I look back my nearly 40-year journey and I think about those moments where I thought that everything was done, where I literally thought that I could not go any further, it is because the answers were actually right in front of me. And all I needed was a little push. And in this video, I'm going to try to share with you some of the things that allowed me to go from unemployed over a year facing deportation to now a 15-year career, 15-year investing, building generational wealth for my family. Earlier this year, building a house that I never thought in my right mind as a kid from Madagascar, one of the poorest countries in the world, dreaming of one day going to America. I will be able to get in a great relationship that I am 10 years into this, 10 years into fitness, and most importantly, the greatest relationship that I've ever had with myself. Things that no one can take away from me. So much so that I'm willing to share things that make me vulnerable, that no matter who views this, no matter what you do with this, I'm going to show up every single day for you. Because I know that when I was at my lowest, I wish somebody was there to give me some of the tips that I'm about to give you. And right here, right now, is your time to go all in. Now, all in is not what I thought it was. As a 20-year-old, I thought I knew what all in was. I was a soccer superstar. I was told that I had all this talent, I had good grades, and here I thought that the world was mine. But when I wasn't able to break through in my career on Wall Street, when the reality of what happened after I graduated after 20 years of school hit me with no money in my bank account, bankrupt on some credit cards that even as a finance major, I didn't know how to manage, relationships, friendships that went to garbage, and literally feeling so empty while I'd given my everything. I thought that I knew that I was all in, but I was mistaken. And I want to share with you specific notes that I have right now that have literally allowed me to turn my test into a testimony and that you can implement in your life right here, right now, in whatever season you're in your life. And in today's video, I'm also going to share with you some books that I've read. Just 1% of all the books that I've read through my nearly 40-year journey. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. 10x is easier than 2x. The Power of Now. Think and Grow Rich. And I'll also share with you this right here, which holds deep in my heart. And that is a self-contract that I handwritten, inspired by something that I read in the book Think and Grow Rich. And this self-contract was part of my story, part of how I was able to build a why that was so powerful, that allowed me to persevere when no one in the world really understood what I was going through. So let's do this. If I didn't go all in, maybe I wouldn't be here today. Maybe I would have never stepped into the gym and kept going weeks after weeks. Maybe I would have found an excuse because I didn't have a car to not ask my friend if I could borrow his car. Maybe I would have allowed my ego to stay down and keep acting like I wasn't struggling and never reached out to my friend. If I wasn't all in, maybe I would not have applied to jobs that were outside of my industry. If I wasn't all in, maybe I wouldn't have taken those jobs that were paying minimum wage. If I wasn't all in, maybe I wouldn't have never made the move with the relationships and gotten out of the situation that I need to get out of. If I wasn't all in, maybe I would have never left Wall Street, left New York, and never made the decision I needed to make in order to find my path. If I wasn't all in, maybe I wouldn't be here right now. I will never know. But what I can do is I can share with you some things that I wish I knew when I was in those moments. So my first point is that going all in starts within. How to get uncomfortable getting uncomfortable is a question that I always get asked, and I always answer with this. The only way is through, and the only way through starts within. You will never find the answers and your greatest power, your greatest potential, your most creative, giving, powerful, charismatic, authentic self until you're willing to break into that layer within that's underneath the social mask and the ego that you've allowed yourself to live in every single day and that you cannot face. Ask yourself, why? Not what. Why? Why not? Why not you? Why not now? As the great Jim Rohn used to say, to win, you can't just settle in. We made a mistake all this time. I still remember choosing the majors, choosing the jobs based on what was validated around me. I wanted to fit in. I was pursuing status and I betrayed success. I was betraying myself through that process. I was focused on how people would look at me. I was focused on what I could do that could make me look like I wasn't struggling, that could make me look like I had to figure it out, that could make me look like I was on the grind, like I was on my path. I was allowing myself to stand in my own path. And to go all in means to say, no more of this. Let's go within. Do the work that nobody's ever going to see. And start right here, right now, with the man in the mirror. The person that I have to live with for every single moment, every day, for the rest of my life. The only person that knows all the lies that I've told about myself, about the world, and about every single thing. The only person that I'll ever have to answer to besides God. And from there, from connecting within, from digging deep within, spending time with myself, spending time away from the distractions, daring to shut off the world and get into that zone, spending time, whether it's waking up early in the morning or staying up late at night, turning off the music, turning off the TV, shutting off the phone, getting in touch with myself, listening to the thoughts that I had, listening to the fears that I had whenever I wanted to do something, what was going on in my mind, and exploring that, being in that moment, I found inspiration. The greatest motivation is inspiration, but the greatest inspiration is introspection. We make the mistake of allowing ourselves to live off desperation. But what we don't realize is desperation is only good to get you started. What's going to make you your best, your most fulfilled self, your most creative self, the person that can literally create magic, the person that can truly allow your gift to shine out there and be a blessing to those around you, is when you actually connect with the positive energy within you and you learn to not just live off negative energy. You learn to accept this mindset of gratitude, being thankful for being here, for that whatever happens in your life, you're going to be good. And the only question is whether you're going to be great. But to understand that the greatness that you're looking for is within you and that it's on you, that the books are out there, the opportunities are there, the gift is already there with you, the diamond is there within you, and that it is on you to dig deep, to stay true to the process and do your part, because you are not living off your insecurity no more. That you understand that you take full ownership and accountability, and that you are going to do the introspective work, develop your gift within, and allow that to shine onto every single thing in your life. Which leads to my next point, which is to go all in, you have to be in. We make the mistake of being halfway in. We make the mistake of saying that we're on the grind, that we're doing the research, that we're trying. To be all in means to commit 100%, but most importantly, what that means is to let go. The book 10x versus 2x explains this in a tremendous way for me. It shows how most of our lives is lived trying to continue the same habits, the same limiting beliefs that have kept us in the same position all along. We try to find ways to say that we don't need to do this. We don't need to remove this in our lives. We can just keep doing the same thing and somehow things are going to change into our lives. But the truth is, to truly transform, you need to start today at the beginning of the rest of your life and say, not that you're starting from zero, but that everything that happened in your life is one thing, and that from here on now, let's do it. Let's go all in. And to be in means, as Bruce Lee once said, to be like water, to allow the adventure, the journey, the exploration, the discovery, the learning, the development, the execution, to take you wherever it's going to take you, and trust that destiny will bring you exactly where you need to be, and that the only thing in your hands is to do your part, which leads to my next point, which is your input. We often make the mistake of thinking that input is about a checklist, that an input is about finding a methodology in a YouTube video, in a book, in a classroom, or that's something that we can just copy and paste, and somehow we're going to get the result. But the truth is that is called shortcut mindset. If you really want to develop yourself so that you can break through in a way that's truly going to move you and make you proud of your life, you have to look at input in a different way. And the input starts with a vision. If you don't have a vision that truly moves you, a vision that literally feels impossible. I remember talking to my sister and I told her, if you were writing a book about your life and you were at the last chapter, what would you wish you would write right there that would truly move you, literally almost make you cry? What would you wish you would do? What is that goal that you would be like, damn, I can't believe I did that? And set that as a goal. And then from that, develop realistic inputs one step at a time. Because the truth is, you are now ready, right now, to achieve your greatest transformation. But you are ready, right now, to make the input. And then your next input will be an inspiration for the following input. And the beauty then happens, which is momentum, which is belief. Through actions, building belief. Through belief, you build more actions. Through actions, you build more inspiration. And on and on and on, through the power of compounding returns, you'll be surprised at how far your reality now changes. And now something that seemed so hard and so impossible now becomes right within reach. Because you actually put yourself into that vision and you stepped into it through actually doing it, but most importantly, to be all in into the execution of it, focusing on your input and allowing the output to be anything that you deserve right now, that you trust that whatever the outcome is, you take it as a learning lesson for the next input. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built one brick at a time, one step at a time, one repetition at a time, one meal at a time, one word at a time. If you have to talk to yourself, if you have to wake up early, stay up late at night, all in means you focus on your input. And that leads to my next point, which is to be in the flow. The goal of the input is to be in the flow. The truth is, you can never control your fortune. 99% of your actions, 99% of the consequences to your actions are things that are not up to you. You have to accept that. You have to relinquish control and allow the adventure to take you exactly where you need to be. That's the gratitude mindset and the abundance mindset, to believe that you have something special, that your people will find you, that your gift and your blessings will find you in due time, that the answers will find you, but that your part is to position yourself by doing your part in the flow, to empty your mind and to be a student, to be a teacher of yourself, to be your own supporter, to be your own coach, to be your own system, your own company, to be the CEO of your life and have full accountability and ownership for each single step of the way. Which leads to my next point, which is intensity. The goal of being in the flow, the goal of putting in the effort is to have the intensity. We make the mistake of allowing ourselves to be so focused on the end goal that we forget to be in the moment. And intensity is all about saying that right here, right now is all I have. And I'm going to do my part right now. But to do it in a way where you literally live in the moment and you're present. As Kobe Bryant once said, it's not about the number of hours of practice. It's the number of hours of practice where your mind is present. The truth is you're distracted. If you were present, you wouldn't need to go and maybe spend hundreds of hours of work. Maybe 30 minutes now will seem so different. But that 30 minutes will seem so different because you're actually coming at it from a place of positivity, not from a place of being scared or insecure about what people are going to think about you, but excited to find out about what life has in store for you, believing that the work always works and that in due time you will get what you deserve, and that right here, right now, you are enough to do what you need to do to execute onto the next step, and that right here, right now, you can build self-love. You can build confidence. And that's how you get comfortable getting uncomfortable, through this intensity. When you build this muscle of intensity, you build such a level of trust with yourself because you know that you were able to show up and execute. Intensity, for example, for me in the gym, is to set a level number of repetitions that I know is challenging, and to only count the reps when I start hurting and when I start getting into that number of reps. So if I set a number of 10 reps, I start counting when it's 11, 12, 13. And I know in my heart that I gave my all. Which leads to my next point, income. All of this will yield to income. It is inevitable. When you go all in, you're setting in motion something that is greater than you. When you're truly focused on those action steps from the power within, when you're connecting with yourself every single day, through the development, through the input, through the flow, through the intensity, you will have income. And income is a matter of thinking and growing rich, not about hard work. Hard work is about building the belief, building the self-respect, allowing yourself to truly express yourself through your labor, through the repetition, through the development. But what makes you rich is how and why you dedicate what you dedicate yourself into. Value, profit, growth is what's going to lead you to your riches. It's what's going to lead you to a breakthrough in your career. It's what's going to allow you to break through in your relationship. When you have this mindset to create value, to create growth, to contribute, to connect, you will see how everything that you do, all the input, intensity, and every single thing that you do in your life will now turn into income. Because you're going beyond your ego and you're thinking about impact. You're actually thinking about more than just yourself. But it had to start with yourself. You cannot go out there and give everything you have until you've done the introspective work, and that never stops until it's all said and done. Don't be scared of making profit. Don't be scared of growing. Don't be scared of creating value. Your greatest self will always be the person, the version of you that wakes up in the morning willing to give every single thing that you got to the most meaningful thing that is dear to you. Don't allow this time of loneliness, don't allow the cynicism, the moments of failure that you've gone to remove you, to make you think that life does not have beautiful things in store for you. Like your favorite movie, You are right in that moment where the hero finds out by themselves and takes the steps for however long it takes towards their greatest transformation because they went all in. As always, wherever you are, wherever you come from, you're destined for greatness. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Busy living, not busy dying. Love.